Okay, so we have all the information right here in front of us. All you really need to know to start music theory is the difference between a whole step, which is two steps away from each other, two notes away from each other, no matter black or white. So if I start right here on this C, I would go, this black key would be a half step, and then to the next white key would be another half step, and those two halves equal a whole. Then the half step are just the two notes next to each other, no matter black or white. So if I start here and go a half step up, I end up on this black key, which is C sharp. Or if I start here, even though there's no black key, I still go one key up or one key over. So this is E and F is a half step. And we have our C major scale. And we see the pattern that makes major scales. Two wholes and a half, and then three wholes and a half. So C to D is a whole step, D to E is a whole step, E to F is a half step, F to G is a whole step, G to A is a whole step, A to B is a whole step, and B to C is a half step. And we've been talking about minor scales, and there's a couple different kind. And the first one is called the relative minor scale. And how do we get the relative minor scale? We go to the sixth note of the major scale, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which would be A. So I would build an A scale. And the reason that they're relative is because they have the same notes in them. The C scale has no sharps or flats in it, so the A minor scale is going to have no sharps or flats in it. So I have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Let me just put in where these are. Let me get to the regular text. Plain text. So this is a C major scale. And then below we have an A, and we're going to call it a natural minor scale, if I can spell here. And this A doesn't mean it's a single natural minor scale. A means it starts on A, it ends on A. And then we talked about how now this is a different pattern of half steps and whole steps. And if you look at the end, it gets rid of that half step feeling. It gets rid of that T-do, that tension release, that going home, that closure. So what we would do, I'm going to copy this minor scale, put it down here, and get rid of this, because what we're going to do is change this into the scale we talked about last time so that we get that T-do sound again. We raise that seventh degree. So now I don't have this pattern of whole steps and half steps. I actually have all the same except till you get to right here. F to G sharp. Well, here's F to G sharp. This is actually a step and a half. But it's acceptable because that's what gives us that T-do sound. It gives us the closure. Now, this is called a this would be A because it starts and ends on A. Harmonic minor scale. And then hopefully it lets me do this all on one page. So we're going to take third type of minor scale. I'm going to copy this scale down. And we lost our keyboard, that's okay. Now, it's going to sound unnatural to have this big giant step here. So what we do for the next scale, the next type of scale, I'm going to sharp the sixth degree also. So if I look at this now, I still have an A, it still starts and ends on A, and we still have that T-do sound. Remember here we had that step and a half. That can be kind of hard to sing. It doesn't really put it in order for you. So what we do is we make the sixth degree sharp also. So we have A, B, C, D, E to F sharp, which is only a whole step, and then F sharp to G sharp, which is only another whole step, and then back to A. Now, if you look at this, the only thing we're missing is a C sharp, and this would be an A major scale. So our ear hears okay, okay, and going from playing the scale, our ear hears A, okay, it's minor, B minor, C minor, D, it's still in minor, E, it's still in minor, but now we went to F sharp, G sharp, and A. Well, if this had a C sharp, this would be an A major scale. So our ear, towards the end of this scale, starts to hear major. So let me put this in here. And let me fix these scales for you. Let me do. There we go. So what we would have, if this goes up, and I go back down, so I'm going to do G, F, E, D, C, A, whoops, B, A. And then, so you can get rid of this measure right here. All right. Now remember, what this, so we go up a scale and it's minor because this third is minor. If it was a C sharp, we'd hear a major scale. But we want to hear a minor scale, so this is lower. And then when we get to this E, F sharp, G sharp, A, that's the major scale. Our ear starts to hear a major scale. So when we go down, we want to put it back into its natural minor form. So how am I going to tell people that I want this back in their natural minor form? And what that means is, well, excuse me, if I look at natural minor, this G isn't sharp, but here in this scale it is sharp. So I use this little symbol. It looks like half of a pound sign or half of a hashtag. It's called G natural. And I'm going to do the same thing because F was raised. I'm going to raise the F natural. Oops. I'm going to make the F natural. And let me get rid of that one note so there's not two of them there. And E is the same, D is the same, C is the same, B is the same, A is the same. This way, so when you're composing a piece of music and you're using this scale, you would be using, well, let me do this. This would be called an A melodic minor scale. And it makes sense because if you're singing it or you're playing it like you're playing the melody, it goes up and then we start hearing major, but we're not in a major key. We need to remind our ears that we're in a minor key. So when they go down, it goes back to that natural minor scale. So our ears say, so if I'm listening to a song and I say, okay, it's going to be an A minor. It starts and ends on A. It has that lowered third degree. It's all the same notes as C, different order of half steps and whole steps. So I know I'm just playing an A minor. And, well, I know I need that T-do sound. So I'm going to use the harmonic minor. So we get that sense of closure. I'm going to raise that 7th degree. Or, because this is so hard to sing or maybe hard to mentally appreciate because you go from a step to a step and a half, I'm going to raise this 6th degree. So if I'm singing or I'm playing an instrument, I think, oh, okay, I'm playing my minor scale, but we have to make it sound pleasurable, so I'm raising these degrees, but now I'm hearing a major scale, so as I'm descending and going down, I need my ears to be reminded that these notes, are natural, not always sharp. So here's our major scale, C major scale. Its relative minor is the natural minor scale. It's relative because the C has no sharps or flats, A has no sharps or flats. But we lose that T-do sound, so we can use a harmonic minor scale to get that tension release T-do. But this F to G sharp can be kind of hard to sing or kind of make your ear feel a little bit awkward. So we raise this 6th degree. So I hear a minor scale, and then around this point, I start to hear a major scale, but I don't want to write in a major key. I want to write in a minor scale. So when I go down, I'm reminding my ears that this is still a minor key. Now, I can compose in whatever key I want. Maybe I want to compose in a harmonic minor and I don't want an F sharp at all. I can do that. Or maybe I want to compose in a melodic minor scale and I want to keep these sharp. I could do that also, as long as I have this 3rd degree as minor, which can be discussed later. And these are pretty much the scales that our ears are used to, this major and these 3 minors. There's other scales called modes and stuff, but this is where I want to stop with scales and how they're built so that you understand what you're going to hear. And I'll stop there.